I'm back. This is Dr. Deborah Harris Nixon, the new and improved and spiritually enlightened sort of Dr. Deborah Harris Nixon. I mentioned Eckhart Tolle's book, The Power of Now. And in the book, he talks about what is called pain bodies. And he said this pain or emotional connection that so many of us have to things that have happened to us. Sometimes it's collective, meaning there's a whole group of us who have this same pain. And sometimes it's individual. Maybe I witnessed somebody dying or something was traumatic that happened to me when I was a little girl or young woman, and I'm still hanging on to it as that's me. Remember, he talked about that ego. So the pain body that I am trying, hopefully being successful at releasing, is that of being a woman and black woman. He talks about the idea that what has happened to women in the history of our world, that females, women, female human beings have that pain. They carry around the pain. Like feminists is an example of you created these societies, these groups, womanists, black women, created these groups, these ideas, these words to help describe the belief system of a woman who has been pained. And he says, again, that's not who we are, even though those things did happen, but to hang on to them is an ego thing. Because you get to say, you done me wrong. You get to have all these great words, misogynist and sexist, and we get to create these words that further express just how badly we've been treated. And that's not to take anything away from what has happened to women and black women in particular in the history of the world. But it is to say that serves to separate. And he said that's part of the problem in our world, is that we think of ourselves as being separate from other people. So this idea of womanist, feminist, it does draw this line between us and men. And there are some men who are feminists, and there are some men who understand, black men who get the whole womanist thing, but it's still lines that separate us. Now, to tell a woman, and let's say just tell a black woman, just forget about all the rapes, forget about all the disenfranchisement, forget about the fact that you're probably the last person of all the women in the world, American, to get married or to marry well or to be picked as the queen of anything. Just tell me to forget all that. That's just like kicking somebody's ass and then telling them to forget it. Y'all get over it. So I get why we would hang on to that. You don't get to treat me that way, and I get to let you, and I get to say, okay, you're forgiven. But if I do say you're forgiven, and I do mean that, then I don't need a word to describe that that's what's happened to me. What I can do is live in the body consciously. And he talks about what it means to be conscious. That means without the separation. That means without the hate. That means without the words, the awful words that would make any male and some women feel just terrible for thinking and believing what they do, even though that's unconscious believing and thinking. But what does it do to me? How does it benefit me to hang on to that? What would benefit me is that I realize that because I am a woman, and this is sort of ego, but it's just truth, that I am closer to God in the way I think and respond to everybody, including people that have oppressed me. I have this nurturing, this collective understanding of love and well-being and wanting to create togetherness and empathy and collaboration. I mean, all of the feminine qualities, and some men call it emotional intelligence, but no, it's woman's intelligence. So I have all of that. Do you know what kind of power that is? I'm just really excited about that too, because my goal now is, as much as I can, to just separate my ego and this emotional pain that I have endured and have collected and held on to about what it means to be a black woman. And that still goes back to being angry. I gotta say this. My ego's about to talk. Again, you kick my ass and then you tell me not to be mad. That's, you guys, even an unconscious person gotta see that's, I like the word stupid, but that is just not loving. That's just not loving. But because I am a woman, closer to being, I want to begin to embrace that. I want to begin to feel that and embody that in my life, so that what I do and the words that I do concoct will be words that will be uniting and inviting and inclusive and loving. Because that's really what I think it means to be a woman. Ooh. Next time.